Good evening, people. I am Daksh God. I'm the founder of Love World magazine. We
Good
work
evening.
focus of finding teenagers who are doing inspiring work and sharing their work and their stories with other teenagers. We work on a simple concept of teens inspiring teens. Till date, we have covered nearly 300 such teenagers from across the world. And from time to time, we try to bring out industry white papers focused on the K-12 sector, which is focused at finding innovations that are happening in education. We are all right now experiencing a very different kind of a scenario, which we never expected that we'll do in our lives, which is a lockdown. And during this time, a lot of schools, a lot of educationists have done a lot of amazing innovations to continue learning and teaching within their institutions. So today, I welcome you all to the Blub World Web Talks 39th edition. Since the lockdown began, we started these talks. And in the last 38 talks, more than 400 school leaders from 60 plus geographies from across the world have participated till now and shared their ideas on no lockdowns on learning and the post-lockdown school. So the reason behind doing this activity is very simple. Every section of the society is supposed to contribute to society with its own capabilities. As educationists, our first duty is to deliver knowledge. And at the same time, it is also our duty to create the knowledge that the world would need in the future. So this activity is just to create that knowledge that the world would need in a post-corona or a post-lockdown world. So just to give you an idea of the kind of ideas that you've got from schools, there is a very small village in West Bengal called Padua. And one of the schools there is doing a very innovative assignment. They've asked their kids to create a custom dictionary at home by adding 5 new words every day and bring that dictionary to the school once the school opens. There's one school, the Indian Embassy School in UAE. They've started doing something called a cartoon speaks, where they've asked students to cut the cartoon strip in the newspaper, put it on a piece of paper, and interpret that cartoon with their sense of understanding. There's one school in Odisha which has started doing a wisdom diary, where they've asked students to list the good and the bad that they do in the whole day. So there have been some amazingly innovative approaches that schools have adapted. Today, the topic of this webinar is the post-lockdown school. Before we actually come to the topic and I ask all of your ideas and your visions, just to share one which we can now claim to be an axiom or a fact, is that the way or the definition or the concept of a school, the way we knew it, does not exist anymore. It's already obliterated. Because what we are gonna open or what we are gonna start in the post-lockdown world will be a redefined institution that we don't know how would it work. So right now we are trying to find ideas on how would the post-lockdown school look like when you can only operate with 30% of the people and you have to teach a paradox. Just some days back, we had the principal of Kalinga Institute that teaches 50,000 tribal children without charging them anything. He shared a very nice statement. So I'm just sharing it with you as it's a very nice idea. A school was an institution and till now is an institution which is supposed to bring the society together. And now we are supposed to teach them something which is an absolute opposite. We have to teach them social distancing. So how is that going to happen? How does a volume-based model that works on one individual handling a lot of people going to work in a system when you cannot have a lot of people together? So even the financial model of a school has been broken down and it needs a new approach to dealing it all. So in the next 30 to 40 minutes, we'll try to know your ideas and your thoughts on what do you think will change in a school in the coming times. Every day we try to bring a different perspective to the whole discussion by getting somebody who's away from the K-12 sector or a little bit different from the K-12 sector so that he can give us a bird's eye view of how does the sector look. So today we have with us the Honorable Chancellor of Adamas University, Dr. Samit Ray. So from here onwards, I would request Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary, the Pro VC of Adamas University, to take over the discussion. And then let's first hear it from Dr. Samit Ray, and then we'll move forward. Over to Professor Chaudhary.
Thank you, Daksh. First of all, thank you. Congratulations for the 39th web talk. So 39th web talk means more than 400-500 principals so far. That's a very big number. I can see Saroj Madam. I have met her earlier also. And I think in another webinar, and my Chancellor has also honored Saroj Madam with felicitated in Shikhok Samman long time back. So I think I also know Sutapa ma'am. My friend Firoj is there. Firoj sir, Professor Firoj is also there. So it's good to meet old friends. First again China ma'am, China Mondal ma'am. Also I've met you on webinar and otherwise earlier. Good to see you all. My leader is here. I will request him to speak first, and he has one more Zoom after this. I will be till the last moment and listening to everyone's ideas. But the topic given to us is post-COVID school. Let me begin by telling today Indian Express carries half-page story. I can share it with that later, or maybe I'll show you. The half-page story has 8 stories written by school students of Adamus International School and Adamus World School, both in Calcutta, and such touching stories, how they interpret the lockdown and COVID-19. Selected, the language is only corrected by the teachers, the stories are their own, and the illustrations are their own, and it has come out. And some of the ideas even I cannot think. The youngsters really have fabulous creative inputs. Without taking any more time, I request my leader and the founder of Rice Education, founder of the various centers of Rice Education, which teaches youngsters for government jobs for 35 long years. From his a very early age, he started that. And today, for the last 6 years, Adamus University is the chancellor of Adamus University and the founder of 2 schools. Professor Samit Ray, to tell his views as he is observing from from KG to PG, all the levels of education he is observing. So over to Samit sir for the first 7-8 minutes of talk, and beyond which he may take a few questions and may have to leave, but we will continue with the discussion thereafter. Professor Samit Ray, please.
Thank you, Professor Ujjwal. At the same time, welcome to all the principals and headmasters. Actually, yes, this is a challenge after a lockdown period. How you will develop the education systems? Yes, there's a 2-part. If we try to understand the concept of Rabindranath Tagore concept, there's a Shantiniketan, right? There's some point agenda behind the development of the environment of the Shantiniketan, right? Another second person, that one of the most spiritual educational leaders, Aurobindo Ghosh, right? If you try to understand the education level 1, level 2, and level 3. And then third one, the transformation of the knowledge, right? If you consider only the transformation of the knowledge, yes, digital platform will be the one of the important media we can carry. And yes, of course, there's some restriction. There are some we have to develop some situations also. But if you want to consider the leaderships, because education means the leadership, development of the leadership. If you want to develop the spirit of association, the spirit of share, yes, so there's no replacement in respect to these 2 to 3 points. The spirit of share. When one small child come to the schools, first he start to share that his or her tiffin to his friend, right? So from that point, the spirit of that, the concept of the sharing start. Number 2, most of the students are very much fascinated how my leader, that is my teachers, are talking, how he or she behaves, how is the body language of that teachers. Yes, again, we will miss these 2-3 things on the digital media. Yes, but of course we have to arrange all the education system in respect of that COVID-19, one of the disease. Yes, so we are thinking also how we can develop these things, because during the last 1.5 months, my schools also, my principal, more than 700 faculty, as a professor, as a teachers, as a prophecy, VC, they are contributing. They are also taking the classes on the digital platform. Yes, they have been able to transform the knowledge to the students. At the same time, they are also complete their syllabus also. First term, second term. Now they are preparing themselves to take how they can assess, how they can take the midterm semester and the final term semester. But I think we have to go through different type of experiment. Maybe we have to empathize on the uh, philosophy, on the how we can develop the principal characters, right? So I think it is a great experiment age we are going to face as a teachers. Already, my friend Dixit told how the innovation is taking place in different part of the world, right? Ultimately, ultimately after the lockdown, all the schools and the colleges now are opening. The France and the UK also they are making the program. So I think yes, institute have a important, have a specific role. At the same time, how we can execute the education system with respect to the information, with respect to the development of the leadership, how we can follow the model of Rabindranath Tagore. Just like I am also planning. Now I am trying to know the how many batches are in my university, more than 30 people. So can I shift that classroom to the field, right? So this will be the experiment, right? But I think to face the challenge, most of the teachers will do the more innovation. Ultimately, the spirit of civilizations cannot stop. Ultimately, the aim of the human development, human world development cannot stop. So I think that all of our teachers, we will face this problem and we will be able to find out most suitable thing that spirit of civilizations will go ahead. I think this is the main agenda. This will be the one of the important area. Thank you. Thank you to all who are already here. I think we will do more innovations.
Sir, please be for a few minutes more.
Yes.
And I would invite any of the senior academicians who are present here can just unmute and ask any question. There has to be a synergy between school education and university education going ahead. There has to be sharing of innovations, as has been said. I am also wanting to put it here that we are in the process of starting an innovation and incubation center with the support of Government of India under the community Atal Community Innovation Center, where the school's best students also would be involved in some way. And this will be the only and the first center of its type in any university in Bengal. So there, the support of all of your schools who are from various parts of Bengal would be very crucial. But that's in future. As on today, COVID and beyond COVID, what sort of steps should we take? Any question, any observation to begin with, if can be asked by any of the principals to our chancellor. Any principal, please.
You were talking about post-lockdown classes, but there will be nothing of this kind. We have to live with the corona, and there will not be any post-lockdown period. Lockdown will be over, but the corona will be there. So the social distance, the importance of maintaining social distance, and the compulsion of keeping the schools closed or half closed will remain. My opinion is there might be 4 classes held per day, and thus the number of students may be divided, and 4 classes should be at least of 1 hour length, so that the whole material may be taught. But it is certain that online education cannot be any alternative of class teaching, where the students get the touch of a teacher and where social development occurs. So online teaching, though not an alternative, but it should also be tried, because you are reducing the number of classes to 4 per day, and the rest of the the deficiency should be met by taking online classes. And for this, the schools may tie up with some organizations of repute, or the government of India or the state government should come forward with some teaching materials prepared by some reputed IITs, and on the basis of the state syllabi, not only on CBSE and ICSE and in English medium, on the basis of the regional syllabi, and the regional languages should be there in class teaching materials. And physical education, one thing we are omitting every time, that is the need of physical education. Whenever the students will be told to attend at least 4 classes per day of 1 hour length, each class, one of the classes should be of physical education, and but to maintain social distance, no games should be there, but physical education, free hand exercises or other type of exercises, or small games will be there. And the fourth opinion I would give, that school complexes, there may be school clusters where the expertise of one school may be shared with those of the others. And in West Bengal, I have seen many schools where only 60 students are present, and for those 60 students, 16 teachers are there. Such schools should be told to take to admit more students, and those schools where students are overflowing, those students should be transferred to such schools, so that a balance is maintained. These are my opinions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sambhana, sir.
Thank
Just add a different perspective to the whole talk. The whole world saw globalization coming in, and the world changed from a seller's market to a buyer's market. Before globalization, the seller used to decide that what the buyer will buy, and after it, the buyer decided what he wanted. And right now, this corona is that phase for K-12 education sector. From a school's ecosystem, it's now a learner's ecosystem. And at this point, I think a lot of universities can actually share their resources with schools and actually give their capabilities, their bank of professors and their knowledge bank to their students. I would like to have an opinion from Dr. Samitra on what do you think can universities actually share with schools, so that schools don't have to spend a lot on building their own resources and their own teachers.
Of course, in that case, university professors or university management can take an important role. There is no doubt, because we have to, because yesterday also we have another conference. Some principals told that there is a difference between the two category of students. One part who are within the city, they are enjoying all the technology facility, but the students who are the interior portions of the village and the districts, they are not available to attain the availability of the technology, right? So there is a difference of getting the chance, who will take the opportunity, who will take the advantage of that new system, the education. So I think as a government, it is not possible by government that they can develop all the infrastructure and all the facilities within a one day or within a week. So thus, university can take an important role to develop the technology platform, and to train the teachers how they can develop the process of education. So I think in this case, yes, there's no lower education, mid-class education, and higher class education, college education, and the university. Now the necessity of the new innovation of the education is required in every aspects of the education level. So I think in this case, university can take an important role to change that systems.
Absolutely. I just want to request you something that you can actually do in the coming times, because after talking to nearly 400 school leaders, we found out that there's one skill that is missing in most of the teachers and that we need to develop in the coming times. Most of the teachers right now are preparing video lectures through their mobile phones and shooting it and then uploading it on YouTube and different media for students to use. But something that has come to notice is that most of that content is not very sticky or not very engaging for a student. And I think here your media school can actually take a lead and take specific workshops for teachers training on how to create interesting videos and how to actually script your content in such an interesting way that the student wants to listen. And I would actually request it here is this call that if you say a yes for this.
We have a plan. We have a plan. Samit sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, at the same time, this is a requirement of the research also. The psychology department also take an important role. What type of subject, what type of the nature of the video or the lecture process can attract the student. So not only the role of the designing of the video, so it is a question of the research also. So I think the huge area, all the schools can contribute in that case.
Absolutely. Over to Ujjwal sir from now.
No, Saroj ma'am.
Excuse me. Yeah. Good evening, Samit sir.
Good evening.
Sir, I don't forget the last when we met in the workshop and the way you have given the idea about AI was the best way. I will never forget it. And whenever I teach AI to my students, I always quote your words for that. Sir, as you will leave, so I would like to ask you one question. As my school is a residential school, as the government is saying that 30% attendance will have in the school. So it's not a regular school, but we have to residential students, we have to accommodate them also for lodging also we have to provide for them. So how a residential school can continue with this 30% attendance of the school? Can you give some ideas, sir? That will be quite helpful.
Actually, this is a big challenge, especially in case of the residential schools. Yes, the students who are coming from the schools and every day, you can divide it 50%, 25% and 30%, and you can start to odd class and even class systems also. But in case of the residentials, yes, you may think in that way, because in this case, you have to consider the space of the classrooms and the space of the rooms also, that is the hostel area. So how you can manage the program? So 50% student when will be there the classrooms, so you can start in that way, and 50% students during that period they can take rest in their hostel rooms also. So this is
what about at the night, sir? What about at the night, sir?
Right. So I know this is a big challenge for you also. So yes, in this case, we have to again innovate how we can pursue these things. Right?
Sir, innovation.
I will wait for your words when.
Saroj ma'am,
Yes,
the innovation can be that the conceptual part, theoretical part can be delivered online and through video, and in the hostel they can study on the days where 30% is doing physical class. So 30% who do physical class, they can be focused on the lab work, group work, things which require doubt clarification and all that. The concept of flipped classroom has to be brought in. In a flipped classroom, the study material are given in advance. So we have to develop in the hostel a digital network by which, digital access, by which students can actually get the study material in advance and study by themselves. And 30% come for doubt clarification, laboratory work and group work. That's all. The other 67% continue with the theoretical study. Then this 30% come back, another 30% go next day. So, and sitting arrangement also has to have a space, sir.
Now, Professor Ujjwal, Madam question was that what will be happen at night,
Yes, sir.
right? So we can again innovate like the quarantine period. Yes, some students will be stay and hostel for the 21 days, and another group go for this
That will be.
at home also, and then another 50% will start the classes. But in case it is not possible, because the students will travel from one corner of West Bengal to the other corner of the West Bengal, and if your school is the international school, maybe the students will come from the outside the state also. So that is a big challenge. Big
I have to
challenge.
think, I have to innovate, sir. Huh? I will need
Yes.
your help, sir. Huh? If you have
Yes.
any ideas, please share with me.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
I'm
a
thinking.
very
Thank
nice
you.
idea on these lines.
Any
that
other principal?
schools-
Any other principal just now? We'll have one more round, but just now for any question for Samit sir? James sir, any question? Any observation? James sir?
Yeah, I have a question to actually, sir, it is nowadays what will be the scope if some children or some people are going to abroad for their higher education, some research work. So will you highlight little bit that this after Corona, the scope will be limited or it will be flexible?
Actually, there's a misconnect, I think. So I think you are asking the questions about the either the students will go outside of India
Yeah.
to take the higher study. Yes, it is this year. It is one of the important thing because the guardians and the students also in the dilemma. Whether which atmosphere, which area will be more safer to a student in the next years. If any one student can move outside the India, right, UK or USA, or the students can take the admission in India also, because next 1 year and 2 years, if they again the lockdown period, yes, this is the first phase of the lockdown period. Anytime in this year also, maybe the government maybe the forced to declare another phase of the lockdown, because it depends on the number of the corona patients also. So if this year the students take the admission outside India during the lockdown period, it is very difficult to move from UK to India and then India to UK. So that is one of the risk area. Rather than if this year the students can take the admission for the undergraduate degree this year, but for the master degree they can prefer after 2 to 3 years when the atmosphere and the situation will be more stable. Then he can select for the master degree the Oxford, Cambridge, and other foreign university. I think it will be better one.
I totally agree, sir. Undergraduate can be studied in India, but studied in a university which has tie-up with foreign universities and foreign learning systems,
Of course.
where online availability of like what we do in our university is we are bringing in course era courses along with our regular courses. So
Right.
both combining can give a value addition sitting in India itself. James sir has some question. James sir.
Good evening, sir, Sumit sir, and
Good
Professor
evening.
Ujjwal sir. I am situated in Hooghly. Kunti Ghat is the area. And what I was planning also, that the Gurukul system, which we have a lot of space, and the normal thing here, social distancing is the normal. We have around 700 students, but then there are a lot of trees around this area, which will be good for students to follow the Gurukul system and experiential learning. Now, the water treatment plant, in so many classes, they use those water treatment plants. Physically, if they've taken there, explain to them there, and they will have the knowledge. So this Gurukul system, I think, thank you very much. That was in my mind also, the Gurukul system. And just to bring some humor into that who said Corona is going to stay? Full stop or comma? Full stop or question mark? WHO,
Yes,
Is
yes, of course.
World Health Organization, or I'm asking a question, who said Corona is going to stay? So thank you so
Actually,
much, sir.
yes. Actually, in case of the small schools, where the capacity of the students or the number of the students is small, you can do more experiment, right, within a short time. But the schools like Adamas International Schools, and I think that there we have the another schools also in different districts where the number of students is 4,000, 3,500, and more than 5,000. So how we can maintain the social distance? It is a big challenge, right? Yes, of course. Gurukul systems is another thing. It is absolutely good for the quarantine system also, because all the students will be at the residence schools, so they will not go the contact of the other people also every day. So it is good one, better one, but the number of the students of the schools also, it is a big problems.
Any other teacher would like to ask any question to sir? Okay. Himasri madam. Sammunat
Yes,
sir,
sir.
will come back to
Yes,
you
sir.
again next round. Himasri madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh, Let me introduce myself first of all. I am the principal of Kalyani Public School, Salt Lake, and recently I've joined that school as a principal actually. And I'm greatly honored today to share this platform with such eminent educationists like you all, sir. It is a big opportunity for me to hear you out and gather the experiences from people like you, first of all. Regarding this post-lockdown school, what my viewpoints were, as I have already shared with my management, since our school also shares a big strength of students at this moment. So like we were thinking of conducting the school in 2 shifts if possible. Like I don't know like how much it will be feasible, because questions of cost regarding transportation is also coming up from their end. But conducting the school in 2 shifts, like from one shift from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., the other may start from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Another alternative that I also suggested, like alternative days, as already you people have suggested, alternative days like Monday, Wednesday, Friday for a set of students, and Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for another set of students. Roll number wise, we can divide them. And parallelly, those days, which days the school will be off, on those days, we can continue with the e-learning process, the online platform. It has to go on. We cannot stop that actually at this point of time. It has to go on, that online platform. We have to still continue with that. And certain protocols to maintain when the schools actually start. First of all, staggering during the beginning and the end of the day. That has to be maintained. No like staggering and no crowding in one place while entering the school and while leaving the school. It has to be done in a proper disciplined manner. Secondly, we have to cancel the assemblies, sports, and other events where a lot of gathering happens. Thirdly, we have to maintain that children's desks should be at least 1 meter apart. That can only be possible when we reduce the number of students in a particular slot. And last but not the least, we have to start training up the students and teachers, all of them, about the social distancing part. We have to conduct workshops regularly in the schools. We have to teach them the unnecessary or avoid unnecessary touching, and maintaining all those sanitization process, keep the building sanitized all the time, regular sanitization, and arrange such awareness programs all the time. I think that should be the procedure we should follow during the post-lockdown schools, because ultimately human touch is very important. We have to bring the children to the school in any means, because without that human touch, we cannot exist. We are social beings, we are social elements. So ultimately that is very much required, sir. So that is my opinion. Thank you so much.
The only comment I have in response to what you said is perfectly. These are the right ways of lateral thinking or diverse thinking about the problem. But we should stop using the word social distancing. It should be physical distancing, social bonding. Because if we distance socially, me and James sir would not be meeting. We are meeting but physically distant.
Yes, yes.
So it should be so physical distancing, no doubt, but social bonding, because we need to put it in the mind of the children that you are not to think yourself in isolation. You are not to be completely separated from the others, but there is a new way of bonding. The bonding has less of touch. That's the only thing.
Right.
So, sir, would you like to give some any concluding comments before you leave, Samit sir?
Thank you. I have another meeting. So very good opinions at the same time. I am very glad to share my experience at the same time. Of most of the principal are the very young. So I think the innovation every time will take places. At the same time, above 50 years, professors and the principal also, they are also doing innovation.
Right.
During the last 1 year, 1 month, this is a straight competition between the mind of up to 35 years and the mind of above 50 years. So this is a unique competition, I think. So that is a good one. So I think we will face all the problem. At the same time, we are very powerful, because human being is the most powerful creation of the God in the world. So, so I think on the art especially. So I think it will be a good one. And thank you. See you again. Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Daksh.
Thank you so much, Samit sir.
Yes.
Just before you leave, first, thank you so much, everybody, for the nice questions and your innovations. This is the time when education, the whole world is a big experiment place for all of you. Because the whole world has turned into an education lab. You can actually test every single thought or idea that you ever had right now and bring out the results of whether that's scalable, usable, buildable, and replicable. So try to experiment a lot, try to share innovations a lot, because these will create the next knowledge bank that the world would need. So before we go into the next section of the webinar, I would like to introduce Divya Purohit. You can see Divya on the screen. You can see the Blub World window. You can see Divya. So he's the timekeeper. So I'll take your name, and then you have next 2 minutes to yourself. So once your 2 minutes are over, Divya will put his one hand up. Then you have 30 more seconds to conclude, and then he'll put his second hand up, and that is the time that we might have to mute you. So please try to finish within that time so that we complete this activity on schedule and none of your schedules get disturbed. So let's now hear it from you, that what do you think, that how will schools change post this lockdown or once it gets over? We'll be doing a lot of sanitization. We'll be taking care of a lot of things. So within your 2 minutes, try to share with us your introduction. What innovations did you do during the lockdown? And third, what do you think would happen in the post-lockdown school, and some idea that other schools can learn from you?
Let's ask those who have not spoken first. Let them speak first.
Yeah. So let's first hear it from Mondal ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Our students is very poor. They come school only midday meal, interest of midday meal. Now they miss it. We live in globalization age. Everybody concerned about this matter, the e-learning or digital learning. E-learning or digital learning is very good in this situation after COVID-19. But our school is very poor students. They cannot avail this facility, e-learning facility. So we are very anxious about them. What can I do for them? Government, there is a social structure, is very difficult. 10% students cannot reach this facility. So our question, there is a system. They can avail this chance. Government can start a social stratification, Samajik Star Binnas. If there is a social stratification and class struggle, so they cannot reach this facility. So our duty is to solve this problem. The economic equality, if not come, then it will be not 100% successful. After COVID-19, it is very effective, that's for that students who is economically upgraded. So we can raise this question that after COVID-19, the education is only for the better students who is there equally better, but not poor students. Our students is very interested for midday meal. They come school for midday, but our student is very poor, so we try to solve this problem at first.
Thank you so much,
Our
ma'am.
opinion it is.
Thank you. And I think the society will now find out more solutions to actually uplifting the government schools, because since a lot of material will be available online, it will be easier to deliver to them. There's an infrastructural issue that will be solved by the government as well. We hope so. So let's now hear it from Sutapa, ma'am. Sutapa, ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Good evening, everybody. I am Shutapa Acharya. I represent Guru Tegh Bahadur Public School here at Durgapur. And my issues are quite like what Dr. Roy was talking about. We are a big school in terms of number, size, area. But then at the same point of time, social distancing or physical distancing, like Sir was saying a little while ago, I am yet to come about with strategies which will help our school to function normally post lockdown. Present moment we are into e-learning, and the innovations which we have taken up so far are, we've had a Rabindra Jayanti this year online, we've tried having an Earth Day online, we are also planning for an Environment Day online. So we are doing this, but all that I wish to tell you, since mine is, and I'm sure many of my fellow colleagues here would be facing the same trouble, we are an old school and we have teachers who just have about a year or two of signing off from their jobs. So in terms of real-time situation of learning and usage of technology in classroom is not only a challenge for the learner, but it's also a challenge for people who are on the other side, meaning teachers. Therefore, since we had no plans for this, we are also grappling with the situation present moment. But what Datta ma'am was saying a little while ago, 2 sessions and then or even numbers, e-learning to continue, I think we are also thinking on similar lines. Since we also run school buses, so therefore the trying to keep the numbers in the school buses also to a minimum is what is there in our roadmap. But if you ask me as to concrete plans, no, we are still trying on a hit and trial method, and I really don't know what will work well. I would sign off here because I would like to hear from others, because right away, if you ask me post lockdown, I will not be able to help. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. One school in Gujarat is using another approach. They have introduced 2 fee structures in their school. And they've given the parents an option that, do you want to be homeschooled with online teaching where we teach your kid, or do you want to actually send your kid in a shift school? So they've given them 2 fees options right now. This was the principal just yesterday from a school from Surat. So people are, finding different even financial models to make this thing work post this lockdown. Let's now hear it from Apala Chakravarti, ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio.
Yeah, good evening to all of you. It's a very good session. I'm representing that SSN Academy, Kolkata. Okay, so we discussed about that what the students are doing during lockdown period. We have given them all that class chapter wise some project. So they are doing, and it is not that only to write on the paper. At the same time, lockdown is not 7 days or 15 days, or it is just a month. So we have given the children to do their post-lockdown preparation when they will come to school. So we have already chalked out some steps when it will be there. So first of all, that will give importance on sanitization and their personal hygiene. So during this lockdown, we have given that some students, even the junior, each and every student, we the parents also, you prepare 5 masks for you. 5, each and every student. Our planning is that post lockdown, we have already purchased a very low cost sanitization machine, very low cost. So at the gate only one bin will be there, disposable mask. The children will come from home with mask, they will dispose over there, and what they prepared the mask, everything will be there in our desk, and they will collect from there. So these are they are doing. At the same time, that first 2 days, after whatever maybe which day that lockdown will open, first 2 days only staff will come for their training, and then gradually that all the schools are doing. And I'm lucky enough that our management has controlled the section maximum 25, not more than that particular section. So we are not thinking about that physical distance maintaining. This is already there, and we will take care of their academics. Will first term will complete with only class test, so children will be little bit happy. Then term 2 will see the annual examination. In that way, we are reducing their academic pressure. And other distancing, when lockdown will stop, then definitely we have to implement. It is our planning step by step. Lots of steps are there, but I cannot discuss now. These are our planning. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. There was a very nice idea shared yesterday by one of the residential schools, which has even started to push an application in the government of Rajasthan. It's a school based in Rajasthan, which is a Heritage Girls residential school. They've asked from the Rajasthan government to actually get a paramedic trained and deputed in their school, which they are paying his salary for, and they've asked him to train on COVID testing. And they've asked to purchase COVID test kits within the school, so that in a residential school, they can actually maintain hygiene even more by doing regular testing of all the students who are there. So I think this idea could be used by Saroj ma'am. So let's hear it from Saroj ma'am for the next 2 minutes. Ma'am, please unmute your audio.
Good evening, everyone. Let me introduce myself. I'm Saroj Jaiswal, principal from Durgapur Public School, Raiganj. The previous meeting, I have already told what we were doing during the lockdown period, but still let me give some reference. Like we are also taking the virtual classes, and we are giving some PDF, and our planning is that at least the first 4 chapters we will try to complete through this online classes, and we are doing very well. The thing is that like online classes are there, but 100% attendance is not there, 100% cooperation is not there. So this is also a big challenge. When the post lockdown the school will open, so we'll have to deal with those students also who were were not attending these classes, and to assess the students how they are doing, whether they have understood the chapters or not, we have asked them to do the YouTube, make some YouTube for the peer teaching. So they are sending their YouTubes, and which we are circulating with other students also. Post COVID, after lockdown, as the government, we will definitely follow the government's norms. Whatever the governments will do, we will not go against of them. We are lucky enough that our school is very big, like it's 30-acre areas. Like our campus is a very lush green, 30-acre area. It is spread. So we don't have that problem actually. We don't have that dormitory for our residential students where the 20 or 15 students are living. We are having only 6 students are living in one room. So we will not face that problem. But still, I would like to hear some ideas, good ideas from your side also. So yeah, sanitization we will also doing, whatever my other colleagues were saying. Those are the things. We have also thought that initially we will call our staff only. After a week, we will call our students. We'll see when everything will be set down. then only we'll see. And as we are talking about that Rajasthan, that paramedical staff was there, so we are also planning for that, because we are very much like associated with the some nursing homes also. So we are also planning for that. And yeah, these are the part from school side. But as Samit sir has said that after lockdown, the school system or schooling will not as it was earlier. Okay, there will be lots of changes will be there. Lots of changes will be there. And like from your platform, I would like to share my thoughts that when the policy maker it will go, so we have to focus more on like on the education which is on equitable quality learning. Like now we are facing half of our like 12th examinations are not over. How to conduct when they have to give the pen paper examination. So for that, I feel that we have to, after post-COVID, we have to focus more on skill-based and vocational-based education, where as we were having earlier in our Gurukul Pratha, like there was no such curriculum. Open like oral was there, and a student was like assessed through its skill only. There was no pen paper type examination was there. And today, like we talk about life skills, we talk about like we have to teach our student all these things. But if we will focus more on skill and vocational based education, automatically these skill will be inculcated among the students themselves. We will not ever, we have to work from outside. No injection will be given from the outside. And recently, like yesterday only or day before yesterday, I have heard in the news that a very appreciable or very welcome note, our government has done that. Our defense is going to enroll youth for 3 years in the army. And like and if they will after 3 years, if they want to continue, or they may quit, so automatically it will enhance among them their skills. First, they will be able to know how to self-discipline.
The time was over, ma'am. We had to mute you. We'll come back to you again on this. We'll take your thoughts on this. So before we move next, one of the schools has started doing something called, they've absolutely shifted their on-ground school engagement to only academics. Once a kid comes to a class or school post-lockdown, they only do academics in class, and for the sporting activities, they're building at-home sporting activities, and they'll be doing online sporting activities for kids at home. So you can also use that focus on 90% on academics. Just today, the MHRD minister has tweeted that this year the curriculum will go down, and it will be replaced by art projects, which they'll start from now onwards. So let's now hear it from Hemashri ma'am. Ma'am, over to you for the next 2 minutes. If you wish to share something, otherwise we can move to the next speaker.
Hello.
Well, yeah, hi, sir. Actually, I've already shared my viewpoints, so I'll like to other speakers to speak, because let them also be given
So,
up.
Right.
Thank you.
You can speak.
Yeah, hello. Yes. I'm Mr. Kuti here, Sajit Krishnan Kuti, the Secretary of North Point Day School. Right. I would like to share is like after this online classes in lockdown, my school, North Point Day School, actually we have gained a lot in this, because the parents used to think about the school and the teachers especially, that the teachers, how they teach in the one classroom, where the children are just in one classroom and the classes goes on. So they don't know exactly what's happening with the child in the classroom, how the teacher is teaching them. So here now at present, since we have got this platform, and now the classroom is gone into the houses, so into the rooms. So now my parents could see how my teachers are teaching their child. So it's a good platform which we have gained from here, and we have got a lot of number of students coming in, and we have opened it on online classes. Even the admission process is going very well this time than before, because we were not too much in the field of advertising the school. But now what happened, since we have entered to the houses, so we have been known more betterly, and they know what exactly the school is doing for the children. And we have different of activities going on. Instead of not only the books, we don't teach on books, we have physical practical on processes which the children do it on hand. Like for example, now we are telling the parents, we've already bought distance, like we have to keep distance between the child. You know, lower nursery up until class 2, it's very difficult to keep them to a distance. Since we have a policy of 35 students in each class, so you know, but still we have at present around 35, 30, 25 per classroom. But to keep the distance, you know, your children's, you cannot keep them in distance. They always come together. If they have a mask, they'll open the mask, they'll fight with each other. So what we are doing is, we are bringing umbrellas now. Open your umbrellas and walk around the full corridor. You walk around the corridor with umbrellas. Everyone has to have an umbrella in their hand. Whether you go to the bathroom, whether you go wherever you go, you have to carry the school umbrella. So we do have a school umbrella. So we are making all the child to carry the school umbrella, move around the school campus. Wherever you go, the umbrella should be open. That's what we have brought the new, just for this social distance. We have done that. Secondly, we are now making the children about planting trees to make yeah. Right. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anuradha sir. It was a really amazing idea to have a school umbrella and give it to every kid for maintaining social distancing. So simple, so nice, so easy to implement. Thank you so much. We'll be sharing this idea.
All right. Thank you.
Editing your name with it. Thank you so much for sharing that. Let's now hear it from Firoz sir. Firoz sir, over to you for the next 2 minutes. You can unmute your audio. Firoz sir also comes from a higher education background, so let's hear his perspective on the whole issue.
Hi, very, very good evening to everyone. I have been patiently listening, lot of apprehensions, lot of ideas. Excellent. So there is nothing much to worry. But one thing is very certain, with the COVID-19, the world has changed, and it has changed forever. There's no doubt about it. So one can go on and on, but I will abide by the time allotted to me, and this will allow me to listen to other eminent speakers and learn from their experience and wisdom. But here I go. First, I would like to begin with the realization that schools aren't just buildings. Teachers are integral and irrepressible part of our school education system. The magic of in-person connection and bond between teachers and their students will be missed for some time. But believe me, let's be optimistic, we are coming back. So that's one. Second is, as thermometers will gain primacy, the constant fear of getting infected will bother all of us. Either we go out, either we go to school, we go to our workplaces. In the context of the school, teachers and school administration will have to handle the situation with utmost care, concern, and empathy. Very important. With physical distancing, reduced class sizes are in the offing, and schools will be conducted in sets. But in any case, I mean, why our classes were overcrowded and why they are supposed to be overcrowded? So the school administration must think how this will affect our school education. We will have to wait and see. But nonetheless, reduced class sizes will always benefit all of us. Homeschooling is the new normal, good new normal. Increased parent involvement and engagement, which was need of the hour. Courtesy COVID-19, it has come. COVID-19 has led to the distinctive rise of online teaching and learning. And please understand that the online education, online teaching and learning will eventually become an integral component of school education. Are we ready for it? If we are not ready for it, we better and we must get ready for online teaching and learning. Blended learning and hybrid model of education, long due when it comes to elementary education, primary education, now will be taken up seriously and is being taken up seriously. But let's not forget that the students learn less in virtual environments. In person, teacher-led instruction simply has too many advantages. But as I said earlier, we are coming back. A digital divide will remain a significant concern. Access to hardware, software, network, internet access, these are the major issues we'll have to deal with. Digital dividend is a distant reality as of now. So the school education, administrators, teachers, parents, they all will have to work collectively how to overcome this digital divide. One very important point which I wanted to discuss here, talk about it. I mean, we do not have time to discuss. Differing access to technology in different homes will lead to differential learning. My concern is who will make a commitment to making technology available to all students? And this is a larger question to answer. And then the key question, who will provide?
Thank you, Firoz sir, for your perspective. The time was over. We'll again try, if it's possible, we'll again try coming to you. James sir, do you want to share once again something, or should I move to Professor Chaudhary?
Firstly, namaskar to all of you. I see most of you from West Bengal. So let's get traditional. I'm James Ringro from Kuntighat, Hooghly at a Birla school. And basically what I innovated here, I've learned more of myself in this lockdown. And next, we were planning, like how Sumit sir had said, the Gurukul system. Firstly, the syllabus. Professor sir, the syllabus have to be restructured. More of experimental learning, physical education, building up the immune system. You know, I have a son who's at La Martina, Lucknow, and he loves pizzas and all those things. We have to stop all that. Get back to normal food, which we should do that. So one very important thing, we are talking about students. What about the teachers? They need motivation too. We are talking about students, how to build them up, and then the teachers need motivation. We are every Friday we are having a Zoom class, and our teachers are making small videos of what they are doing in the house, and we are all having a good laugh at it. And we told them we are sharing the camera so often. We are all superheroes. We are also Corona warriors. So keeping them motivated to take classes. Whenever they take class, they send me. We have a group with all the classes. They send me class 9 chemistry done. I say well done with a thumbs up to them. So you know that's motivation. Every class I say, if I by chance I miss out, I'm in another meeting, they will call me or they'll send me a message, sir, a personal message, sir, you haven't said well done or you showed the clap thing. So you know you need to motivate the teachers too. Now we are talking about classes having alternate, but in the rural areas, sir, you try to understand if we have alternate classes, the child labor is going to start because the economy is down. Parents they have less money, so they will send the child. Okay, one day you go to school, next day you go to work, and into construction things. So that is very important. We have to keep an eye on. Next thing, sir, that we are having online classes. But imagine if we have 5 classes a day, 40 minutes. That's 200 minutes of screen time. People have small phones, smartphones. The child has to concentrate on that smartphone. All the GBs. Now Jio is giving, say, 2 GB network per day. That is going off. Then the students are losing out on all this. And Saroj ma'am, I have an idea for you. I've been in the hostel for 14 years in St. Thomas's School, Kiratpur. And you know, hostel is a wonderful place. As the children go home, the whole building is yours. Divide them into separate classrooms. Put the beds there, let them sleep there. Use the school toilets. So, Saroj ma'am, I think this should work for you. And thank you very much. Namaskar, all of you. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir. Again, an idea I think will have to be experimented by some residential school that try to use your classrooms as their bedrooms. So something that will have to be too dynamic because every single day you'll have to again change the setting. So thank you so much. And I think this one concern that you shared with us, that if an alternate day teaching mechanism gets implemented in rural India, child labor could be an actual issue that comes up. I think all of you have spoken. We'll now request Professor Ujjwal Chaudhary for the concluding thoughts. And then I have some amazing news to share with you that I'll share after Professor Chaudhary's address. Over to Professor Chaudhary now.
Sambhunath sir, you wanted to speak again. Would you like to add a few more points? Yes, Sambhunath sir.
My proposal is the government should come forward to give a gadget like tab to every student from class 8 to class 12. And the programming of that gadget should be in such a manner that there should not be any other thing other than education. Or only classes will be there, and the gadgets will be given to the students. Nowadays, government give them textbooks, exercise books. Government distributes TVs to the families. Why can't they do it? They should give a gadget, a well-programmed gadget, and the programming should be there, and each and every institution should be tied up with a good institution like yours, with any IITs. They will give the teaching materials in regional languages, and that will help the students in addition to class teaching. Class teaching has no alternative. Class teaching has
urban students who have some level of connectivity already. So for them, we have to understand the teachers have to be really making content multimedia. So far, we could be a smart talker in the classroom and students were listening to us. Sometimes we had the stick and we had a serious personality, so they were listening to us. Now it's no more the case. This is a voluntary learning mechanism in online method. So as we know that many students do not actually attend online classes sometimes, therefore we have to learn to make it interesting. So video making is important, and we have started. Even I have also started making videos. It is important now to understand that every topic should be multimedia and made interesting. Second point, for residential schools particularly, and those who have food facility in the lunch time, in the daytime as well, immunity boosting food and free hand exercises and games without physical touching. This is very important. Immunity boosting food, and therefore the food habits have to change. The content of the food may have to change. The composition of the food in residential schools and lunchtime. And without physical touch, free hand exercises on music or something, those things have to be taught for very rigorously now inside the school as well. Third, 1/3 a day, 1/3 of students on a day is going to be the formula. For a large number, state governments are going to come out with such rules. And we have to start thinking, how do we physically use 1/3 and digitally use 2/3 every day? The composition changing every day, but this will be a reality. No comparison between physical and digital. There is no, this is a necessity. And physical and digital will merge together, and physical plus digital or hybrid or blended is the method ahead. Memory less, application and analysis more. So we have to stress less on memory because Google gives all answers. We have to stress more on analysis power and more on application power. This will be significant. Instruction to collaborative. In school, we could give instruction and we could make them follow it. Now that school is being reduced to 1/3 of the time maybe, or at least less than half. Therefore, the whole education has to be now made more collaborative, participative, voluntary. That will only happen when the projects are brought in, when it is made interesting. Outcome-based education. I'll give an example. Science course can have 20 topics. Turn every topic into a model project. Let's say solar system chart. Let's say photosynthesis model. These things can be done with simple things available at home or nearby. So if we turn every topic we teach into a chart, model, or any other outcome, it could be any other outcome also, video or something, this outcome-based education will make education interesting. I have to leave within 2 minutes in this. So I've just tried to bring in a few points. Some of these we have started at higher education, maybe started at the school education as well. Thank you. And all the suggestions taken earlier, I request Daksh to summarize and share with all.
Please. Thank you so much, sir. We'll be sharing the best, whatever nice ideas you've shared with us onto a paper and sharing it with you. And some of these ideas will be shared on the social media platform of BluffWorld. You can go and visit. The previously shared ideas are already there. You can even experiment those in your schools or in your institutions. So before this talk comes to an end, there's an idea that one school COVID-19 had a lot of disease hotspots from where it actually, boomed. A school in the coming times will have to reclaim its image and responsibility in the society. And it has a very nice opportunity for itself. You can actually become the immunity hotspots for the society. You have the best brand ambassadors within your institutions. Teach those kids what they need to teach the society. And the message will very nicely be carried forward. So just to share a news with you, within some days, we are doing a special webinar for school leaders and principals on managing finance, managing debt, and managing equity within your school. And how can you face these challenges if they come up in the post-corona times, to how to keep the school running and afloat if it's a privately run institution. So we are doing a special session with some of the best education investors coming in from all across the globe. And in some time, we are right now inviting your observation papers. If you're whatever you are observing right now, try to create a 100-200 word observation paper on that you think will happen in the coming times. The reason of keeping the topic to be the post-lockdown school is just this. And some of those suggestions we are going to take out, and we are creating a special panel where we are having the Honorable Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla ji come in, and we'll be sharing some of the best suggestions to him to be forwarded to the MHRD. So if you have any idea that you want any policy change, if you want to push it through, please share those ideas with us, those observations with us. We'll try to push it through to the Government of India. I hope you enjoyed the last 20-30 minutes. If you did, and if you want to attend the future sessions, you can unmute the audio and say a big yes. And thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much, people.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good
Thank you so
work.
much.
Very good work, Daksh.
Yes.
Really positive.
Great session. Thank you so much.